Hello, my name is Rogelio Salcido, and today I want to discuss the car dealership model here in the US. Um, More specifically, what that business practice means for us and how it negatively impacts us, and why we as consumers deserve better. Recently, I've been looking to buy a used car, and it took about 4 months of research and 2 months of looking at local inventory when I finally decided which car I wanted. And let me say, I was prepared. I knew almost everything about that car. I knew what it entailed. I knew how much it cost. Um, so I was feeling confident when I went into the dealership. What I wasn't prepared for was the dealership experience. I think we sat there for 5 to 6 hours of back and forth with a car salesperson just trying to negotiate the price. And that is a common stereotype or common image that people think of when they hear car dealership. Haggle, hours upon hours of arguing over a price. And today I want to discuss why that is. More specifically, what laws allow car dealerships to operate in the way they do, what we as consumers can do to change that, and ultimately what that means for the future of the automotive industry. So firstly, I want to talk about three separate parts that I think are the biggest reasons why car dealerships can operate in the way they do. And the first one has to do with franchise laws. Second one is car loans and the increasing price of cars, and ultimately how sales people get paid, which is by commission. So franchise laws, and I'm sure you know what franchises are. You see them everywhere. Any McDonald's restaurant, any fast food restaurant specifically. Basically, you have the manufacturer, and they license these smaller shops to sell their products. No one else can sell it except these licensed shops, and the same goes for car manufacturers. And franchise laws were made to protect small shops and local economies from a greedy or too powerful manufacturer. Instead, what happens, these bigger dealerships group up, they team up to abuse existing franchise laws. In an article by Jerry Ellig and Jesse Martinez, titled "These Laws Should Hit the Road," they found that laws meant to protect small dealerships from being wrongfully terminated were being abused. And like I said, it was meant to protect small shops, right, in a local economy, but these dealers are using it to protect their own business, which is failing, it's struggling, it's not selling enough inventory, maybe it's not popular with the community, and they're abusing it to stay in business. This means it, tanks sales for the manufacturer. It hurts innovation because not enough cars are being sold, and ultimately creates a kind of bad image for that dealership. Another type of law that I'm sure we're all aware of is the fact that, and I just explained earlier, is that you can't sell your product through anyone. It has to be a franchised or a licensed dealer. That means that only specific dealerships can sell it. That also means that the manufacturer can't sell it themselves, and that in itself stifles innovation and that direct connection between a manufacturer and its consumers. The second issue I want to talk about is car loans and car prices. I don't know how you can see it in the graph here, but basically August 2015, the average price of a car was $34,000. September 2019, that price has increased to $38,000. That's a 112% increase in price over 4 years. And if we look down here, in the year 2008, the loan term for cars was on average 5 years. Now in 2019, it's 7 years. So what does this mean? This means that car or consumers are paying more for longer than they have in the past. Imagine being stuck paying a car for 7 years. To me, that is, too much And dealers aren't exactly excited to change that because they make more money if you pay over a long period than if you just pay in cash right then and there. An article by Taramello states that 84% of new cars were purchased with financing in the fourth quarter of 2014. Financing is that idea that you take out a loan and you pay it over, in this case 2019, 7 years. That adds up. And sure, the car dealers like to show you, a small monthly payment. They say, oh, it's not that much, don't worry about it. But over 7 years, that interest adds up, and you end up paying way more than you should have for a car that really just isn't worth it. And thirdly, I think the biggest problem with the car dealership model is how salespeople get paid, and that is commission. And commission is basically a small part of a sale. So, you as a car person or a car salesperson sell a $30,000 car, you get 10% of that sale towards your paycheck. Some dealerships only use the commission model. So that means that the salespeople there have to rely on their own ability to sell cars to get their paychecks. And you can imagine how detrimental that would be to a environment, that's supposed to sell a good product to the community. Instead, it fosters greedy salespeople who will sell you anything they can for the highest price possible. Sometimes they don't even have a commission cap, right? So they can sell as much as they can, and they benefit. Consumers do not. In an article titled "Why Paying Sales Commission is Bad Business," commission pay produces predatory people. Like I said, when a car salesperson's paycheck relies on their ability to sell cars, they're pressured into selling as much as they can. They're pressured into lying, cheating, and it's ultimately bad for the consumer and the car manufacturer itself. So how would we change this? To change this would be to change state law. Fortunately, car dealerships are restricted, regulated by state law. So what we would do as a community is create a petition, get signatures, circulate around, bring it to the California Attorney General, and if we meet these certain requirements, it becomes a proposition on the next ballot. Just how we voted this year for Prop, I can't remember, 2021, something like that. But that is a big task, and the least we could do is let people know. Unfortunately, people just have come to terms with that idea that car dealerships just work like that. They don't have to. They aren't going to do the change, aren't willing to, go through changes. We as the consumers have to demand it. And I think the most important thing you can do is just tell friends and family. I told friends and family, and I'm surprised that they agree with almost everything I said, especially since, they never mention it. And, if you need any further proof that this does work, you could just look at Tesla, who only sells directly to consumers. They pay their employees, they give them a salary, and ultimately they both benefit. We as the consumers get better cars, and they as manufacturers get that better connection with us.